Hey, it's Guillermo Mata here. Thank you so much for coming out to this webinar. It is about 1:56. Thank you all for just making out the time. It's Sunday, yes, so this is live. I see that there's a couple of comments in the box already regarding the call being live. It is live. Again, it's Sunday, it's 1:56, it's March 14th. Welcome, everybody. Before anything, I want to make sure, can you all hear me nice and clear? I can see that Sandra can hear me loud and clear. Ryan, Tom, welcome. I appreciate you all making time out of your day to join me here. I'm gonna start just sharing my screen with you guys. If GoToWebinar doesn't act up on me, if you can you leave a one in the chat box? If you could just see my browser on your side, if you could just leave those ones in the chat box, that would be awesome. So welcome, Philip. Awesome. Tom, thank you for letting me know. Philip, um, Ronnie, welcome, welcome. Awesome. So I promise not to do so much bragging here, but just I intend on going right into this, man. Like the webinar that we hosted on Thursday, just it was amazing. It was an amazing turnout. We maxed out multiple times, and for the first time in my history of being in the space, over 5 times we had over 100 plus attendees, and it was just an incredible time. One thing I did forget though was to I did mention in my emails that I would be doing a giveaway for our community for the guys who just show up, and I'm going to do that today. So I'm going to give away some really cool prizes at the end of the webinar. Don't want to talk about it too much right now, but if you stick around to the end, I promise it's going to be super cool. I like to make my webinars super interactive, but I'll be completely transparent doing these presentations. And when webinar gets GoToWebinar acts up and gets a little sketchy, it becomes a little hard to get back to those questions and things like that. So if you could leave your questions for the end of the webinar, that'll be awesome. It would be appreciated here. I see that we have a lot of people on this call today. So if you can just do me a favor again, in the chat box, let me know where you're located. I know that in the last webinar, we had people from like all over Australia, Canada, Oklahoma, and a bunch of different places. So, so I see that Philip Hayes is out in California, Huntsville, Alabama, Denver, Colorado, Las Vegas, and Australia. We have love for Australia. United Kingdom, we have love for the United Kingdom. I actually was invited not too long ago to head out to the United Kingdom. I was talking to my wife about it, so it's looking like a possible trip. I've been to Europe, and it's pretty cool. It's a fun time. Vancouver, never been to Vancouver, so what's up, Vancouver, Wyoming, and yeah, so how many of you are currently registered for digital billboard apps? If you're already a member, just go ahead and put a 2 in the chat box. If you're already a member, just put a 2. If you're not a member, just put a 1 in the chat box. I just want to make sure. Um, all right, so obviously there's a lot of you here just are not members at all. Great, great, great. So I'm gonna go ahead and expand my screen, and just bear with me one little second. I'm just gonna expand my screen here, and you all should see a full screen on your side. So if you see a full screen, could you go ahead and put a 2 in the chat box? I don't want to go through these slides and then you guys can't see it. I'm gonna go one by one, taking my time. And again, I want to answer your questions, so make sure to leave them for the end of the webinar. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get myself out of here. It's about we're about to just hit 2 o'clock. So I'm gonna remove myself here, and I promise that at the end of the webinar, I'm gonna bring myself back. And of course, any questions that you have pertaining to the platform, I'm happy to answer them live and get the ball rolling. So with that being said, I'm gonna close this out here. You all should see a full screen, yes? So if you see a full screen, just put yes, 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 yes in the chat box, and we can get the ball rolling. Awesome, great. So Tom, Dave, George, Ronnie, I just want to shout out everybody really quick because we got a lot of people here. I apologize, I keep throwing my screen back and forth. So everybody, let me see here. Boyd, Brian, Dave, Derek, Elton, Freddie, George, James, Jeremy, Jill, Ken, Nick, Philip, Ronnie. We even have some big players in the marketing world here, so welcome. Won't shout out any names, but I see you here, so welcome, welcome. And I'm gonna go ahead and minimize the chat. And again, if you have any questions, make sure to just hold them for the end. Also, another big thing I noticed, like when I do these webinars, distractions it's a big deal, when we're doing these presentations. So any like Facebook, any Twitter, any LinkedIn profiles, any of that stuff that you have open up, close down those tabs, bring up the volume a little bit. And I'm gonna take my time through this presentation. And again, I want to answer your questions, but leave them for the end of the webinar so I could answer them more in depth. I understand that digital billboards it's a fairly new deal for everybody in the space, and a lot of you here are currently advertising on like Facebook and Google and all of those areas, and you may have not known how this even works. So today I intend on educating you, just educating you to the best of my ability. We tag team with some incredible people in the digital billboard space that, I can't take credit for a lot of the stuff you're going to see today. It took a lot of hands and a lot of people were involved, and you're going to see that today. So we're going to be here for a while. Again, any questions, leave them for the end, and I'm happy to answer them. So again, you're going to discover how to run indoor and outdoor digital billboard ads on over 100%, 100 networks programmatically. 100 networks programmatically. Yes, you heard it right. Our platform is going to allow you to run digital billboard ads programmatically. So you don't need to talk to anybody. You just literally formulate your campaign and you submit it to the network. The network just does all the legwork for you. So it's not like it was back in the day where you would need to call people, and it doesn't work like that. So I'm going to get started. So as you know, my name is Guillermo Mata. I'm the CEO of Red Torn Media LLC. I'm the owner of the Digital Billboard Apps platform, so I'm the guy behind it. I am the creative brains behind it, but I can't take all the credit for this. There were a lot of people and partners involved in this project, but I got to shout out my developer Hassan and Wally and his entire team, because they're part of the reason that you're even going to see this today. But a little bit about me, and this is probably all the bragging you're gonna do. You're not gonna see the palm trees and how good my life is. I just never been that way. You will not hear that in this presentation. I prefer to, just give you a little breakdown on who I am. So I operate a digital agency and community with over 20,000 digital consultants. We focus on expanding our business through the process of business development and technology. My 10 years of marketing experience has enabled us as a digital company to help more marketers, business owners, startups hassle less and generate more sales worldwide. And that's pretty much it on me. So it's pretty cool that I get to do this and share my experiences with you and what's currently working. And that's what we're going to do today. So moving forward, in the United States alone, there are between 560 780,000 billboards on federal aid roads. That number continues to climb annually by 5 and 15,000 thanks to digital billboards. Now, when combined with local and state roads, there are likely over 2 million billboards in the United States today. That's crazy, right? I didn't even know that there were that many billboards in the United States alone. That's just here. Like, I haven't even talked about other countries, which we support. Businesses are spending advertising dollars on digital billboards, and within this year, those numbers are only going up. According to the Outdoor Advertising Association of America, an estimated $6.7 billion have been spent on digital billboard advertising. This, in short, is an area that as marketing consultants, we had to pay attention to. Want to know who are some of those top paying advertisers? McDonald's, right? You're not surprised, right? McDonald's does an awesome job at driving those lunchtime sales with billboards. It's no different. Timing is everything. When you have the correct technology, folks, and in regards to digital billboards, you could actually coordinate the time and date that your billboards show up, even the weather, and so much more. And before I continue, because I could keep yapping here all day long and educating you, can you give me a 2 in the chat box? Just let me know that you're still with me and you can see my screen and everything is okay. Because if I'm just here talking, oh, David, CJ, Jim, thank you. I appreciate that. So let's get back to this. So McDonald's does an awesome job at doing that. So it's not that McDonald's has millions of dollars, okay? It's that in this space, they make it extremely hard for the small business owner to access this technology. And our partners that you're going to meet in just a little bit, we had talks about this, and that's one of the biggest things in the space is just access to the tools to be able to do this. And it to the general population, out there in the real world, they view these ads as, oh my God, these are these big companies, but in reality, it's just all technology behind it, really. Coca-Cola is indeed an established brand and uses range to keep up with the competition using their latest beverage, zero sugar. All right, so they use Clear Channel. Clear Channel is one of the sources built into our platform. But you notice how they highlighted a bunch of things, right? Coca-Cola, come on, guys. Like Coca-Cola was out before I was a kid or before my time, period. But what I'm saying here is that why is it that they feel the need to still run digital billboard ads? I mean, it's for a reason. In this market where you have beverages such as health conscious drinks and so much more, right? There's so much competition out there. You have to get your brand out there, and they boast with contains zero sugar, but it's still delicious. It's Coca-Cola, right? So Dunkin' Donuts cohesive timing with a 2-for-1 deal. How could you possibly beat that? Dunkin' Donuts does a great job at running those early morning campaigns. Again, when you have the right technology, and you see I'm just gonna get my little pointer. These guys here, Lamar, we're connected with them as well programmatically. But check this out, opening January 20th, 11 hours, 37 minutes. Early morning, right? Come on, who doesn't want some coffee, right? Metro PCS, like any other brand, Metro PCS has competitors. I like how they give away, how they do these giveaways, enticing buyers to come in store and act, right? Like, I know for us, like, and here in the United States, we're driving, right? And I know to the to some of us, we might feel like, hey, like nobody really pays attention to these boards, right? But when you're in the market for it, right? You're in the market for it, like you're almost always gonna go for it, whether it be, car, you're gonna remember these billboards, right? Like I promise you later at the end of this webinar, I'm gonna ask you, do you remember that Metro PCS billboard? What did it say? You're gonna remember this. And you're gonna go at some point and you're gonna go into your computer and you're gonna end up doing research and trying to find it, find that free phone that they're talking about. It's pretty crazy, but it works. You're gonna see I got case studies to back up everything I'm saying. So AT&T is still a player in the internet world and many companies still use their services, but um, you know, how they encourage people, they run digital billboards. Switch to AT&T Unlimited, get free phone internet, right? Toyota, 0% finance or lease. It's a great hook to bring new potential buyers in for a new car. And again, this is something that you can do for any business. Like this is just a franchise here. This is a Toyota franchise, right? 0% lease, right? And it works. It's enticing. You're gonna eventually pop up at the dealership and inquire about that 0% down for a car. Where's the deal, right? It's all about that walk-in traffic, right? That's what it comes down to. British Airways knows how to bring customers online using simple hashtags such as hashtag lookup to bring those online inquiries, and it works. It works. Okay. Google, out of all people, yes, the almighty Google. Google is down for all things digital. These guys know how to keep them running back. Doesn't matter where you are. Digital billboards is an avenue we all should be paying attention to. Okay. Come on, when Google is starting to leverage things out, you got to start paying attention to that. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could run your ads on these billboards as well? So if you think it would be awesome, just go ahead and put a yes in the chat box. Heck yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. Thank you for that. Of course it would. Let's take a moment to talk a bit about programmatic algorithms, restrictions, and access. So programmatic algorithms have made it so those once static billboards can now give others a chance to showcase their offers. This is exactly why these days you see more digital billboards and less static boards. Like that is a fact. I don't know. I know that there's a lot of, you especially in Vegas. In Vegas, you see these boards everywhere. I saw that there was a couple of Vegas folks and California. In California, they're actually fighting to. I just read an article on this. This is really true. You can look it up yourself. They're trying to encourage more digital billboards. Like this is where the world is going these days. So. Although the innovation is now available, it isn't necessarily the easiest to access, and companies offering billboards aren't flexible and set expensive minimums, as I mentioned earlier. Here are those companies, and this is a disclaimer. This is just my input, but again, I'm just trying to, with all the respect to these companies, Daktronics, you know, 10 grand approximate budget per campaign. I don't know. Outfront Media. This is one of our sources. However, if you try to reach these guys directly, good luck. Good luck. We have access to their network. So keep that in mind throughout this presentation. All right. Lamar, remember I mentioned earlier, we're connected to these guys as well. Same exact thing. They set heavy minimums if you try to reach them directly. So we've already basically crossed to the other side for you. Skip all the talking. We're literally handing you access to over 100 plus networks. If you think that sounds incredible, go ahead and put the best comment you can in the chat. I just want to take a look at the chat for a moment. If you think that's incredible, let me know in the chat. And yes, absolutely. Patricia, Tom, Ronnie, thank you. All right. Crazy comments coming in. Right. So, all right, let's keep it moving. Clear Channel Outdoor is another built-in channel within our platform. They set crazy minimums, but again, we've crossed that bridge for you, so you don't have to talk to them directly. You can get access to these networks directly through our platform, programmatically. A study of Verizon, right? This is a study that was done by Verizon that explains everything I've been saying earlier in regards to expensive. I've used that term probably a couple of times now, I believe, but it's just hard. The technology is out there. There's not a lot of competition, as I mentioned. There's not a lot of competition out there. There are agencies that built their own tools, but they're just making it tough for the little guys to get in and play. They're making it tough. So we're like, hey man, like how could we open these doors so that our guys could, it took a lot of, literally, I'm gonna be completely transparent, like a lot of what we had to do was just like overextending ourselves like to the fifth power. Like it was crazy. We were calling different networks, talking to CEOs in regards to, their, what they allow from a development perspective and what they can provide. We've had some companies that were like, no, our minimum is 10 grand. Like, we're like, no way, we're not, that's not reasonable. Like it's, especially in the small business world where businesses, their budgets flex, you need to be flexible. So we had enough of the restrictions. We wanted to bring you what was available with all the flexibility possible, zero minimums. We wanted to give our guys full control. Not only have we removed these restrictions, but have made it possible, opening the doors to networks for you to access. You'll discover more a little later in this presentation. So let's be honest here. Small to mid-sized businesses are limited on budget, especially when starting out. They're almost always looking for ways to stretch marketing dollars to make ends meet. In the digital climate, where programmatic advertising online have been so prominent, businesses are now wondering if digital billboards are worth it or worth the investment in 2021. But when you look at articles like this, it opens your mind and it's just like, wait, what? You can do what with this stuff? You can track people around and yes, you can actually do that, but you got to have the right tools to do that. The right tools, okay? So yes, it's true that with the correct digital billboard technology, you could actually follow potential buyers around town. They will be surprised that the answer to that is yes. Why? The answer to that is simple. There's just nothing old-fashioned about today's digital technology and digital billboards, which can be seen these days in many locations. The space keeps advancing. DDOH, you're going to hear me reference this a couple of times. It's short for digital out of home. Programmatic algos are the cherry on top, and it just flat out works. Okay. So what I'm saying here in short is that, this is all happening programmatically. All of these channels that these Clear Channel and Lamar, all these ads that you see out there, they're all working programmatically and based off behaviors, which you can do with our platform. You could target based off behaviors. And a lot of this data is collected from Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, vehicles that are driving by. And there's an algorithm that these channels use, and it's quite fascinating, honestly, if you ask me. Let's dive into some more relevant facts. A study was done rounding up some of the most useful out-of-home advertising statistics and efforts to help marketers educate clients on how and why digital billboards can be an integral piece of any small business marketing budget. 10% annual growth through 2021. We've got the proof, and this is not me just talking here. I'm going to show you in a second. Advertisers across the globe are investing in digital out of home. The WRARC report found that DDOH advertising is expected to grow at a rate of 10% each year between 2018 and 2021. Programmatic platforms play a major role with these numbers. So for this segment, so we could just dive a little deeper, I'd like to cover what is possible with the correct digital billboard advertising technology. With the correct digital billboard tech, not only can you track in real time, but you could also manage your timing, when and where your ads show, and budgets and weather, and so much more. Functions just like online media. It's very similar, but it focuses more on impressions. When a digital billboard campaign is set up correctly with all online channels, what you have is a very nice cohesion across multiple channels, ensuring the most for your overall campaign. But you still need to diversify. It's now safe to say that the digital digital has changed the game for billboards to the point where more businesses want and are looking for ways to do it. 497% ROI. According to another recent report, every dollar spent on digital out-of-home advertising returns an average of $5.97 in product sales. That's an ROI of 497%. Here's the study right here. Remember I said I was gonna, so this is a study done by the Advertising Association of America, where they break this down where they even mention here using digital out of home in any campaign, makes it more effective. And I'll show you this little screenshot a little later, but the facts are there, and you can see it here. The facts are there. Stephen Freitas from the Outdoor Advertising Association of America, Chief Marketing Officer, states, reports tell us that advertisers see their sales grow and brand awareness increase when they include digital out of home in the media mix. So basically, when you you guys heard me say this before, right? Like diversify. Even when we were talking about geofencing app, when we were like, hey, diversify. Don't mix it up a little bit, So this is just another channel that you can incorporate in your, marketing efforts. So for this segment, I like to share with you the importance of, persistent cohesion messages and examples. So studies have shown that buyers and consumers need an average of 7 exposures to a small business or brand before they make any type of purchasing decision. It's not nagging, repetition is effective communication. I just wanted to share this with you guys because, that's all this really is. It's just repetition. You have to keep showing wherever they are, wherever your consumers are, you need to be there. Whether it be they're driving, whether it be they're on their phone, whether it be on your computer, you're there every time. So what you think is going to transpire? That some action is going to be taken at some point. It may not happen that same day, but it may happen within 2 weeks. That's where you measure things out, right? You measure things out, and then you start seeing that, wow, this one campaign, because I included digital out of home, aka digital billboard advertising, it actually helped my campaign and it helped improve it. So you guys see here. So I personally never use just one channel to promote anything. It's important that we as consultants diversify. The rule of 7 exposures are effective when the message is cohesive, but at the same time drive different objectives as a customer progresses through the buying journey. So example case, with so many on the go, who wouldn't love a meal already prepared for you when you go home? So this is just an example. This is a company in Tampa. Tim and Anna's High-End Meal Preps offer Caribbean-style meal preps in Tampa, Florida. So here's my personal advice. Anyone can apply this. So hopefully, you know, a lot of these things, and I promise I'm going to answer your questions at the end. Take notes on all of this stuff. All this stuff that I'm saying, just write it down. Anything that you feel that you know, you're taking away from this presentation, just write it down. So they could actually, you know, they could totally use a billboard, you know, taking into consideration 7 touch points, build general awareness for their online / customer meal prep / delivery, especially during COVID, where everything is just like, especially here in this area in Florida, where now you gotta like, you could pick up your food now, you could order it, you know, dining is starting to open up, which is a good sign, but it's, you know, you get my drift. You know, a lot of these, we've adapted something here, especially during COVID. We've adapted digital. Everybody went digital, remember? You guys know it's still like that to this day. But it's not going to be any different when things start to open up again, you know? So what I'm saying here is like those that's the type of content that you could use in your boards. Makes sense, right? So let's keep moving. So the messaging at this point in the buying journey would be simple, focused on their business name, number, local, and URL. You want to use a local number at all times in your boards. 800 numbers are not going to do it for you. This is really just depends on the vertical and so many other things. So down the road, Anna and Tim, High-End Meal Preps, would leverage digital fencing at channels for touch points that are more focused on brand building and, of course, transactional sales. Messaging on these later touch points would still focus on building Tim and Anna's meal prep brand, but it would also provide a tad bit more context into the value or unique elements of their products, such as Caribbean style meals, health conscious, or free delivery. With each touch point, you start to become more familiar with potential buyers as your target audience comes to know you through digital billboards and online ads. They are more likely to trust you, which leads to more orders / sales. So let's keep it moving forward. So I'd like to go over for this presentation online activations and just digital effectiveness. So going back to the OAA, predictions just tripled over time as we've done our research. They found that DDOH, as of recently, is part of the reason a lot of small businesses and large brands are seeing searches actively. Okay, so on the engines, including social sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, but at a rate that is way cheaper. You know, with digital billboards, you're focused more on impressions, CPMs per 1,000. So you pay a set CPM price based off what's available in the market. So you could pay as little as like 25 cents for 1,000 impressions. For someone or whichever network you choose, like Clear Channel, for example, you could pay for 1,000 impressions and just have Clear Channel show your ads within a 15-second slot. You can choose that, you know. And so what I'm saying here in this presentation is that, you know, studies have shown that digital billboards are part of the reason, again, why these, you know, sites are seeing improved searches. Again, Facebook, Twitter, Google, wherever, you know, wherever your business may be, Instagram and all of that. So we've got the screenshots and proof coming in just a tad. Digital out of home is 80% cheaper than other broadcast media channels, and it's easy to see why so many businesses are not choosing to just implement it. Businesses are seeing a whopping 40% increase in digital effectiveness overall. The views are just different these days. Digital billboards aren't just a complement to online ads. They can actually play a leading role in your overall marketing if set correctly, okay? So out-of-home ads can improve an overall campaign dramatically ROI, especially ROI, boosting digital search effectiveness by more than 40%. We believe in transparency around here. So again, here's the screenshot. So you can see that what we're saying here is a fact, and this is coming from Digital Out of Home, where they explain that the effectiveness of digital search by over 40% and print by 14%. So it just improves. It makes your campaign just look good. It's brandable, especially when you're driving and you see these ads all the time. At some point, you're gonna end up calling. You're gonna end up walking in that grand opening or whatever. It's just all about the message. What message are you putting out there? So without a doubt, DDoH flat out serves as a critical touch points these days. These ads are proven to boost messaging and actively can send people searching for your business. Need I say more, right? 46% of US adults have used a search engine to learn more about a brand after seeing a digital billboard ad. How about that, right? How many of you knew that? 46%? That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I mean, like in a good way, you know? So here's the proof. Again, this is coming from the, Outdoor Advertising Association of America, where you can see the like where television is, radio, newspaper, right? And then you got out of home advertising, So the facts are there. So another study done by IPA Data Bank shows a 54% increase in search effectiveness. A recent study showed DDoH boosts the business effects of search by 54%, social 20%, radio 17%. So as I mentioned, it's a necessity. Yes, you know, freeways, especially freeways, man. Let's talk a little bit about freeways here for a minute, man. Like, or maybe we should just wait to I got some stuff I want to show you in regards to freeways and how effective this stuff can be, but uh, yeah, I'll show you a little later. So essentially, viewing billboards as just a slice out of any marketing budget or pie isn't, the right state of mind. Instead, you want to view it more like the crust. They can truly support your campaign elements by giving them a boost locally while helping, to build cohesion across their marketing channels. All right. So you guys get the drift here, right? Like the fact of the matter is that if your message is clear on your digital billboard, right? Whether you're working with a real estate agent, a small business, if your message is clear on that board and you're not putting a bunch of text there, it could work. It could complement everything you're doing in your marketing efforts online. You could take what you're doing online and bring it to this. Like any of your creatives, like your designs, all that stuff, you could just bring it to the outdoor scene. So it's safe to say that billboard advertising isn't going anywhere. So for this portion of the presentation, I'd like to share a few billboard ad ideas you can use in your next campaign. So this is just an example here. This post here, this board sits on a corner. It's on a corner of a main avenue. Positioning of the billboard is everything. Luckily for you, in our platform, we have this feature where you could see where the billboards are before you start running campaigns. So just keep that in mind. I'm giving you guys little hints here and there. So this board sits on the corner of a main ave with plenty of sidewalks for walking traffic, especially during morning, midday, and end hours. So you see it here, right? Like this company here, Logan Dental Care, new patients welcome. This to me looks like an awesome ad. This is ideal. You want to keep it simple. You got the number there, the URL, boom, done. So this is a great minimal digital billboard ad showcasing their number in big, bold fonts with the URL. Okay, so these are little notes that, hopefully you're taking on your end. Local lawyers, local leaders, right? Convenient locations, right? And again, when companies do this, they are in close proximity. They're not that far from that far from the post. So just keep that in mind. I suggest that, you be at least within, 1 mile, no further. If you're going to take that approach where you have no number or anything like that, you just have an address, be within 1 mile. Because if not, like, this is essentially what you want your ad to be with. So, and I want to make sure you all are still with me. If you're all are still with me, can you put like a 5 in the chat box? I just want to make sure that you're all are still with me. And I promise to answer your questions at the end of the webinar. All right, Solomon, Jamal, Jill, thank you. Appreciate that. So let's keep the ball rolling. So going back to this example here, this to me is like a perfect example of what you can do with digital billboards, So this person here has a nice little graphic going in the background, not too much. Nice little headshot, right? Here we go. The realtor company is there, the URL, the phone number. Awesome. Keep it simple. But again, don't go with the 800 numbers when you run these digital billboards because it's not going to help you. Okay. So this is another good one here. Got the number, got the social media. I don't, the icons, they're not going to help you in this matter, but it in some places it may, because then what'll happen sometimes is that people will go and they'll take a picture of it and then just come back and search it later, find them on Facebook and Instagram, so. So again, this is another one here, Nashville Hitmakers. This is a really good one. This is all, focused around ticket sales. Great approach. They have different colors. And to me, this is what, you want it to look like, all right? This is another good one here. They got the URL. It's insurance made simple. I would put a number on this thing. I know that on the last presentation, we had folks on here that were doing pay-per-call. So definitely, if you're doing like pay-per-call offers or anything affiliate based, definitely get a good local number going in the area, and test it out. Get a number specifically for that billboard. So when you generate calls, you know where those calls are coming from. All right, so Boost is another one here. Switch to Boost Mobile now and get a free smartphone. Boom, number done. Lovely, nice and simple, right? These things don't need to be complicated, and that's what I love so much about digital billboards. It's not as complex. Like you're not, it's just a different ball game. It's just simple. You don't need to get all technological. This is another company here this is just flat out branding, all branding, right? This is another good one here, right? You have a choice, right? And then images speak a thousand words, right? Like maybe this is a healthcare center for adults, who knows, pediatrics for adults, I don't know, but they have a big bold number, I know that, and that's ideal. That's what you want to see. So, consider, the images that you're, putting on the design. So, this is another one here. Again, when businesses take this approach, they are likely in close proximity. So let's go over some small business case studies now that you have an idea on, what a design should look like, right? So this is another one, Pablo's Cafe. They used Outfront Media. Lebanese and Greek food, yummy, sounds amazing. On Yelp and Google, they're nice and big. Catering and delivery, vegan options, lovely. They just put that out there. So Pablo's is a Lebanese and Greek restaurant, fairly new. They wanted to drive on-foot traffic and increase online searches. Here's their results. 200% increase, and I'm not making this up. I'll show you the facts in a couple of minutes. 200% increase on Google searches, 28 million impressions, boost in online orders / customers. This is their strategy and tactic. Pablo's wanted to reach on-the-go consumers, right, in their general trade area with one digital out-of-home ad. After seeing this almost immediate success, they continue to scale it long-term. And this is what they had to say. This is the owner, Joe. As soon as my billboard went up, business immediately started to increase. I firmly believe that upfront helped my restaurant and caterers business grow. So you got the facts there. This is another one. This is this is interesting because I know exactly what this is. That's here in the Tampa area, but this is crystal clear windows and doors. But these guys did it smart, brilliant. They got the free estimate down there, which is beautiful. Are you ready for hurricane season? Right? So you want to run these boards during that time. There are services that are hot during certain periods. Okay? So let's see what they did. So only a couple of weeks into the campaign, people started to notice the billboard and actually replied. During COVID and pandemic, many homeowners took advantage and to do home improvements, including replacement of all windows, doors, replacing a lot of stuff, and just making repairs. You guys know that because we all went through it together, right? Um, so they were basically promoting this during that season, during the tropical season. So this digital billboard was positioned on a road filled with heavy to slow traffic. They took the time to plan creatively ways to captivate potential consumers' attention using language such as free estimate. Results, 60% increase in customers. Pretty amazing, right? But this is what happens when you don't stay stuck on one thing, like Facebook ads. I know everybody's like still talking about Facebook to this day. Listen, $25 clicks, that's not cool all the time, okay? Unless you have the budget for it. So campaign details, market, Pinellas County and Tampa media, 3 high-profile digital billboards along the highway, campaign released during hurricane season 2020. We decided to use billboards during the hurricane season to promote our hurricane-proof windows. We asked all our customers how they have heard of us, and almost all of them say that they've seen our billboards, and that's it. And this is coming from the owners. They basically a majority of their business is coming from billboards. This is another one, Condado's Tacos. They managed to get over 730 impressions sent over, to their online sources, and did pretty well. Boosting walk-ins and online sales. Strategy, they strategically placed Condado's Tacos, utilized a single high traffic location on Woodward, a major roadway leading into a downtown Royal Oak. That's all talk within their town. So they ran it within a good location. This is another good one here. This is just amazing, right? Your home sold guaranteed, robsellsnj.com, right? Beautiful. Headshot looks good. Big bold text. I mean, what else do you want, right? So, Billboards made Rob a remix celebrity out in New Jersey. And, if you know anything about New Jersey, it's there's a lot of competition out there. It's not easy, okay? The only way out of the mix was Ddoh. He managed to do it successfully and maximize his reach on another level. Strategy/result. What made Rob a true success was he diversified. But at the same time, digital billboards is truly the reason he managed to capture both buyers, sellers, essentially to, becoming the go-to guy. And this is exactly what he had to say. Over the years, I've spent millions on all sorts of media to get my message and brand out there. Nothing has made me an overnight celebrity like billboards have. This is another good one here coming from another business in Florida, strategically placed um, in a major highway, these guys. So Central Florida wildlife attraction needed to increase brand awareness with locals and turn them into consumers. And how they did it was they used data. They used data coming from what they currently had, and they ran their campaign within that area. So they managed to successfully run the billboard in close proximity to their location in an area where they were, again, based off the data that they had. So the data was coming from a certain area. Most of their, the addresses and the numbers, they were coming from a particular town. and the nearest highway to that town was in, close proximity, and they managed to make it work. So they managed to boost things up and get things rolling. But how do we make the most out of these campaigns? So for this portion of the presentation, we'll go over 5 effective ways you can make the most out of your digital billboards. So go straight into your story. Don't leave anything out. If your billboard is on the side of a main highway in which people will literally go, then a design without a good story won't simply be memorable. To find your true story, think about the one thing you want people to take away from your digital billboard ad. Do you want them to remember the website URL, to be able to recognize your brand the next time they're in the supermarket? Or how about people who pull off an exit for some fried fish? Use your key message to find that story. All right. So check out this example. Your website will allow them to solve that one big problem they are having. Your brand is supposed to feel fun-filled with happiness, and most importantly, attract people so they can engage it. Your client's fried chicken will satisfy their cravings and keep them full all the way to Boston. Did you notice a pattern in all of this? To find your story, you take the key message and give it meaning. Could it solve a problem, evoke an emotion, or fulfill a need, even one they didn't know they had until they saw your billboard? Let's talk about why a story is so important. Because as humans, we aren't the best at remembering facts, but great at remembering stories. Your billboard design plays a huge role in all of this, which means the next step in all of this is figuring out how to tell the story as part of that design with images and text. You'll want to use some caution and be strategic when coming up with a design. In short, you definitely want to plan out in advance. Now, I want to make sure you all are still with me, so could you go ahead and in the chat box, just go ahead and put a 1 in the chat box. I see that there's a lot of people here and we maxed out, so congrats. One's in the chat box, awesome, appreciate that. So let's keep the ball moving forward. So here's some ideas in regards to, so you get the juices going, all right? So this is a good one here, right? This is a really good one. So what would you guys think this is? Let me know in the chat. If you were driving down the road, and this is again just an example, sparking your creative juices, find your Bigfoot. If you were driving down the highway and you seen this, or on the way to New York, on the way to Cali, Los Angeles, Denver, you would ask yourself like, what in the world is that? What is find your Bigfoot, right? So there's a lot of things that people are doing out there to really captivate your attention, and this is one of them, right? So they're making an impact is by utilizing a short and fun play on words that'll create laughter or chuckle of some sort, or even a short rhyme that will help your message stick. To the Oklahoma Soccer Association, they want people to feel curious about discovering soccer, so they played on the foot, right? Related concept that people started searching for Bigfoot. It's fun, whimsical, and evokes a sense of adventure, which would definitely get people excited about playing soccer. This is another one too, right? A picture in short is worth 100 words. The YMCA's basketball uses a dynamic image to keep their brand almost always in mind. A dynamic image can, tell it all quickly. In fact, an image will help retain your message better than using words alone. Just make sure the image really does make an impact, 5 seconds or less. You can test this by sharing your design with business associates to view it for a few seconds. If they smile, smirk, or wink or scratch, whatever, great work. If then it obviously worked out. Keep it short and sweet. You're going to be doing a lot of testing here. It's going to be fun. It's a fun process. But eventually you end up finding like which one works for you. The average driver will only have about 5 to 15 seconds, so keep that in mind, okay? And this is for them to read it, to really be captivated by it and remember it. In those 5 to 15 seconds, the driver could also be glancing from the billboard to the road and to the billboard again, depending on the severity of the traffic. That's even less viewing time on your ad. So one of the most important rules to follow will be keeping your message short, very short, to a maximum 7 words or less. After your initial message, you can consider any other relevant information. Need to provide a phone number? Is there a logo to implement? How about a location or highway exit number for attracting motorists to an avenue? Okay, so if you're working with a restaurant, lawyer, let them know, hey, that exit is coming up. Just want to let you know. Just be sure to prioritize the most important information so your billboard doesn't become cluttered, illegible, and creates no attraction. Be colorful, right? You want to be colorful, using bright colors or a bold image in your design to effortlessly attract eyes to your billboards. Contrasting colors within the design will also create an even bigger impact that will help improve the retention of your message. And these are just all examples. But in order for your image to be effective, you'll want to keep your background simple to ensure the foreground isn't fighting your attention. Stick to one large image, just like I showed you earlier before. That one dynamic image will create much more visual impact than a handful of images that only take up a quarter up of any layout. So check your map. If you find you're still in need of a fun story for your billboard, consider the location where your design will be displayed and use that environment for a clever message. Kind of like this, right? I know, not the best image of all times, but could you believe that this is like it's like a open source site to find developers and stuff like that. So yeah, it's humorous, but you're gonna remember this, right? You're gonna remember this. You can also take advantage of highways with several miles of territory between towns to pick the interest of any hungry, tired, or bored travelers within a simple signage that repeats itself. Have a unique attraction that shouldn't be missed, a comfort and rest stop for a traveler in need of amenities. If so, let the drivers know of closing distance between them and the destination by setting up several designs miles apart. And you can do that within our platform. You can set up to run your ads within multiple billboards. So you just catch them without having to really choose the actual billboard. No need to be clever if you don't want to, but your message will still need to be short, bold, and legible, kind of like this one here. So for this portion of this presentation, we'll take a look at the current state of digital billboards at market, like the current state, like today. All right, so you can tell there's been nothing but progress, right? 3.84 billion in 2023, all right? And already it's already on the rise, 19.2%. So keep that all in mind. People are investing in digital billboards. So it's without a doubt clear now. And I'm not just saying that for my own benefit. These numbers are proof that businesses are allocating from their advertising budgets and applying it to digital out of home. eMarketer did a study on this, and reports show consistent growth for 2021. You got it all here. Gonna go back to my pointer. Take a look. So it's not even a question anymore as to why businesses are investing in digital out of home, because it's not just effective, but it's something that's helping boost their business, their intake, sales, customers, clients. It's helping them. So it's very consistent. You know, and this study here is no different. Within a couple of months, these guys saw massive results. Okay, and this is a real estate company here who managed to successfully, you know, take in more real estate clients. You know, and again, it's a necessity now. So what this means for us as consultants is just more opportunities for us to come in and really start providing a solution that businesses could take advantage of and dramatically see an improvement. This is a good one here. This is actually at educational center. They managed to improve enrollment. Just they're in the business world too. But they managed to improve enrollment by 30% just using digital billboards. So for this segment of this presentation, I'd like to go over the more technological side of digital out of home. Okay, so DDOH, as I mentioned before, refers to automated buying and selling of out-of-home advertising. Sounds simple, right? But in a way it is. With programmatic DDOH, computers are automating the sale and delivery of ad content in a similar way to what you see with most online advertisements. Buyers will set conditions under which they want to buy media, and when those conditions are met, ads are purchased on auto. But since programmatic DDOH ads appear out in the world and not on a personal device, the way you approach programmatic will be different from what you're used to. Here's a closer look at what programmatic DDOH is and how it is useful to its fullest potential. So programmatic is basically, more refined approach to digital out of home. And it just comes with all the bells and whistles that you would normally get with any online source. Like you could run ads on rainy days, you could run ads on cloudy days. These boards have ways of capturing that data, behaviors, people walking by them. So digital out of home ads can offer unmatched sizes and they aren't skippable, right? If people are around a digital billboard display, they're going to see it. There's just no ad blockers, so you can't close it down. You're going to see it. I mean, have you guys ever been to New York City? I'm a native New Yorker, and let me tell you, everywhere you turn, boop, you go on the train, you go on the taxi, you take a Uber, you do this, you go to the airport. They're all over the place, so you can't close them down. So imagine a world where ads are highly visible, unblockable, unskippable. That's where things are heading. A study by Nelson found that 82% of respondents recall seeing a digital out-of-home ad in the past month, and that a majority of them viewed digital out-of-home as a favorable light, which is music to my ears. So recap, digital out-of-home supercharges your other channels. Digital out-of-home and traditional out-of-home are impactful on their own, but they really shine when you pair them with other channels. All right, MRI Simmons and the Outdoor Advertising Association of America using DDOH alongside other channels can lead to a boost that, quite frankly, shows, where things are going. So let's keep it moving forward. Why programmatic DDOH is even better. And we're almost done here, folks. I see that you all are ready to jump in. So, all right. So taking everything great about DDOH and then layer extra data, better targeting, easy access on top, that's what you're looking at with programmatic. So let's dig into a little bit more detail. The key to understand programmatic is this. Programmatic transactions allow you to set specific conditions based on external data that will trigger the purchase of a DDOH ad slot. The fun thing is that there are virtually no limits to the kinds of data that can be used to trigger content. There are really simple options, like just having different creative deliveries based on the time of day. There are also slightly more advanced options like weather, daily market performance, and ongoing results of sporting events. You can even use live audience information to trigger content, ideal for majority of people at a location at any given time. And of course, you can use multiple triggers based on multiple data sources to get really specific and detailed with your targeting. This all leads to great things. Using one or more data triggers to drive a programmatic DDOH campaign can open the doors to all kinds of really creative, memorable campaigns. Better still, it helps ensure your ads get seen by your audience at the most relevant times. Strictly speaking, programmatic doesn't enable anything that can't be accomplished with a direct buy. The difference programmatic makes is in terms of speed and efficiency. You can deliver relevant messages much more quickly and without having to make repeated direct buys. It's kind of like this food app in Germany where they send you notifications and things like that. So just to give you a little break, this company here, Ddoh, delivers different messages at lunch and around dinner time. They're prompted to go for a nice walk, to pick up their food, on sunny days, and so on and so forth. So that's how it works with digital out of home. And I dive all of this into this in the training. For whatever conditions you might set with programmatic can help you accomplish very similar results. As soon as the time is right, you'll be able to automatically deliver the right message to the right screen to reach your audience. So DDOH can help you reach specific audiences more easily. One of the best things about adding DDOH to a multi-channel campaign is that it doesn't have to be hard. At the end of the day, a digital out-of-home screen is essentially just that, a screen. Dynamic content, video, interactive content, all of it can be played on DDOH screens around the world. And yes, you can really do this around the world from this platform. Programmatic makes it easier to build targeted DDOH campaigns across multiple networks. To get a quick start, consider just reforming your existing creatives. So if you have ads right now on your Google, on your Facebook creatives, right, for your current clients, you can already take that and just upload it to our platform and start using that to make life a little easier. So now you have another source you can use. Once you've settled on a creative, you want to use designated DSP that supports that creative and like our platform, which you'll discover in just a few seconds. Again, this is a great opportunity to look at DDOH, and it's just a great way to just diversify your campaigns. So open time, real-time bidding, talking a little bit about that. This is probably the most commonly understood type of programmatic transaction. An open slot is offered to a group of buyers who automatically place bids according to how much the ad slot is worth to them. Within an instant, the system assigns the slot to the best bid. The transaction is completed and the ad is delivered. This is probably the most accessible type of programmatic bid in a sense that you can throw your hat in the ring immediately and without needing to have existing relationship to the media owner. All right, so it's like there's just no competition in this space. It's not like these other platforms like Google and Facebook where they make you bid on other people. It's not about that with these guys. It's with digital billboard ads. It's about what's available, So let's keep it moving forward here. So measuring the effectiveness of programmatic DDOH campaigns, since it's difficult to attribute audience actions to advertising seen outside of the home, buyers will usually measure success of their programmatic DDOH campaigns simply by comparing their KPIs, which is including sales, signups, downloads. So that's how you would measure your data with digital out of home. It's just based off the calls that you're getting and so much more. So depending on the available technology and nature of advertising, however, there are other ways to measure effectiveness. Like we allow you to track using a pixel. Like you could use a pixel, whether it be for a phone call or whatever way you want to go into it. So for example, by using mobile data, it can be possible to see when users are likely seeing a digital out-of-home ad for a retail brand, then navigate to one of its location, or by incorporating a special promo code, QR code. There's just a plethora of different ways that you can do this. There's room for creativity with this aspect of programmatic DDOH, so you don't have to be afraid to explore different options and see what works for you. Kind of like this one here, right? There's a QR code, right? And you can do that, right? So you can do QR codes and get inventive, go into those creative juices. So QR codes and promo codes offer interesting options for tracking and programmatic digital out-of-home campaigns. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our presentation. I believe that after I just spilled a lot, and trust me, a lot of this stuff I recollect and I pour it down in the training, so you're not lost. I just honestly, in this presentation, wanted to just give you all I had and wanted to just educate you to the best of my ability. I understand that this is a fairly new market for a lot of you. So I wanted to leave you with as much as possible, and hopefully I did that today. So we've reached the end of our presentation. Ready to run programmatic digital billboard ads? If you are, let me see those yeses in the chat box. Yes, see a lot of yeses coming in. So let's do it. So with that said, I'd like to introduce you to a new innovative piece of technology that will enable you to run digital billboard ads in just about any state, city, town, or country 100% programmatically. Yes, I want to introduce you to our lovely platform, Digital Billboard Apps, indoor and outdoor digital billboard advertising. Simple. Digital Billboard Ads is an innovative digital billboard advertising platform for both indoor and outdoor billboard advertising. Built in with over 100 networks, venue types, programmatic features you can use to measure your campaigns in the long term. Let's take a look at some of our partners built inside. But first, we want to shout out our partners. These are the guys that you're going to be partnering up with, right? So I want to shout out Vistar Media. These are the amazing individuals that we've teamed up with. Michael Provenzano, Mark Chadwick. These guys are all, this company is based out of New York. Janet, Dave Rivera. We couldn't have done it without this gentleman here. So I just want to shout out all of them. They've opened the doors for us to be able to essentially offer this as a service. So you could offer it in your area or wherever your clients may be. So just wanted to introduce them really quick. I want to show you the networks built inside. There's over 100 plus networks built inside this ginormous platform. You could only imagine how long it took us to build it. So I'll just let you process that. So Lamar, Clear Channel, Outfront, Add My TV. We have supermarket channels. We have college channels. We have networks that range all the way down to within airports. Lyft. You could run within Lyft. You can run within some taxi services. Blip. Programmatically, folks. There's just too many to list here. That's not all. As mentioned earlier, we provide you with a plethora of different venue types you can access to truly diversify your digital campaigns in full spectrum. Education. So these are the venues that you could use to run your campaigns. Bars. There are bars that are running digital billboards. Casual dining, hotels, movie theaters, recreational locations, DMVs, gyms, salons, billboards, obviously, bus shelters, doctor's office, veterinarian offices, and they're including a bunch of others as well. Convenience stores, dispensaries, gas stations, groceries, liquor stores, malls, pharmacies. The list just goes on. Airports, buses, subways, taxis, train stations. Yes, this means you could run your billboard ads in many different locations, right? Digital Billboard Ad was built for all types of businesses, but with consultants in mind. As developers, we believe in transparency and the importance of data accuracy, which is why we provide you with a full cockpit view so you can measure out campaigns strategically. With that said, let's take a look at it in real time. Ready for the demo? Let's rock and roll. So I'm just gonna close my screen here and I want to introduce you. I'm going to refresh my screen here because we've been on here for a while now. So this is Digital Billboard App, and I want to make sure that you all can see it. So if you can, just put 5s in the chat box. If you can for me, I would appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody can see it. So let's move forward. So right away, I'm just going to expand my screen here. You have your dashboard, so you can see your insertion orders. Your insertion orders are essentially campaigns that are broken down in like 3 parts. You have the beginning phase, second phase, and the final phase. And I'll break that down in just a second. You got your tickets. We care about you guys. We're a unit here, so anything you need, we're here to support you. You have your balance here. And this is just our awesome chat, which you can see there's some awesome things happening already. We're taking care of our members, and it's some good conversations happening. And this chat is only available to those of you who are seriously taking action within this platform. Like you've topped up, you're actively using it, you will be able to use this chat. So you have your profile. I wanted to talk about this because you're going to be networking, so you want to make sure that your name and any email is relevant. That's that. All right, let's keep moving forward. So for your top up, we do have a minimum top up. Now, before you get a little crazy on me and say, Guillermo, what's up with that? Look, it's a $75 minimum top up, okay? And I want to make it clear, you can spread that out through as many campaigns as you want. So let's say one campaign is for a doctor, and you got one for a lawyer. You could spread out that budget. You could put $10 here, $25 here, and you still have some budget that you can use. Pretty easy, right? However, if you're overseas, our payment system does not support overseas processing. So we are processing those top ups at a minimum of $100. It's still low compared to the competition out there that's going crazy right now. Still low. We are processing those manually. Open up a ticket, we'll take care of you. Now, let's go into the real meat of this awesome platform, right? So right away, you got your name, your start date, your end date, and your budget. Let's click on add order here to break things down. So add order is going to allow you to, put the basic details, for your records, your insertion name, your start date, your end date, your budget, your advertiser, whichever one you want to go with. There's so many to choose from, and your venue type. You could also choose to do a markup as well as part of this. So this is good for you guys who are not white labelers yet, and I'll talk about that a little later. And you just will prefer to mark up on top of what you've put in for your budget. Okay, so let's go back here, and I want to show you an example campaign that I've set up. I want to go with this one here, right? So at the top, you have your campaign. So this would be the screen that you see after you submit your insertion order. Once you submit it, you get taken to this page here. You have your campaign, and then you have your creatives. Okay, your creatives are broken down here. Okay, let me just go back for a moment. Alrighty. So this one is obviously inactive. I don't have it active right now. We have our campaign name, start, end dates, campaign budget, my bid, my CPM bid. Like I'm basically telling the network, I'm not paying any more than $1 per 1,000 impressions that you send me. Any pixels, and then you got your targeting, creatives, and then the progress of that campaign. So you can see, I know one of the biggest things with digital billboards is it's very different from online media where you got to focus on your clicks. Well, with digital billboards, we're tracking impressions. We're tracking those impressions in real time. So not only can you track them here, but you can track them via our real-time mapping system, which I'm going to show you in just a second here. Alrighty. So this map is pretty cool because it'll give you this map here, the spot stream map, just gives you an overall view as to like where your traffic is coming from. Okay. So it'll highlight in yellow right now. Obviously, this is not active, but had it been, it'll show me, and you could get up close and personal. So this is a real-time map. This other map here that I'm going to show you shows you the exact location. And I'm going to show you here. So you can see the campaign that I set up, and you could get up close and personal with it. So let's say if I were to be running here in the Tampa Bay area, right? It'll show me exactly where that board is, and I could get up close and personal and go from there. And then up here, you got your name, the advertiser name, impression served, your start and end date. So you got that all there. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So it only gets better. So let's go into add new really quick, and then we'll go deep into this example campaign. So once you've filled out that first phase, the second phase is where the nitty gritty comes into play. You've planned out your campaign in advance. You're ready to rock and roll. You will put your name here, your start date, your end date, your budget, your CPM, your pixel, and how you want to spend your budget, evenly or just you want to keep this off. Okay. So let me click on this little tool icon here, and let's go deeper into this campaign, because we're not quite done yet. We have to specify what networks this ad is going to run in, what creatives we're going to be using. So obviously when you click on creatives, you can see here that this one hasn't been approved yet, but you would just go here once you've uploaded your campaign, click save to associate your creative with this campaign. I'm going to go into edit for this campaign, and you can see at the top that we have a plethora of different targeting options, from POIs, zips, DMAs, NYC, because NYC is humongous, so many boards there, neighborhoods, state. You could even do geofences as well. Okay, so if I wanted to do, like, let's say Florida, then I would just do Florida, right? Now, for the context, I could do weather. So remember before in the presentation, I was mentioning that you could run ads based by like the time of the day, like it's cloudy outside. So we want our ads to show super detailed on cloudy days. The venue, we could choose it to be an outdoor billboards. We just want to show an outdoor billboards. For the audience, we have presets. We have over 500 presets, all I'll show you here for you to choose from. Right here, there's a huge list of presets from guys that attend the fitness all the time. And a lot of this data has been picked up by some of our internal sources and our partners, Vistar Media. So thank goodness for them. So you got the days here. You got the days that you could run, days of the week to include, and media owners. So you could choose to run. All right, so like you've chosen up here to run with, outdoor, but you could choose to run within Lamar, Clear Channel Outdoor, and so many channels to choose from. Okay, so I just wanted to break that down for you so you have a clear understanding on how you run your campaigns. Once you've set that up, you would come to your reports, which I'll show you here, and really get an idea as to like a more detailed view. I'm just going to click load report, but you could load your reports by start, end dates. You have your filters here, so you can filter your campaigns out however you like. And the campaigns are broken down in detail. So as you start to see your traffic come in, your impressions, you're going to see that broken down here. Your impressions, your cost, any revenue, any profit splits, it's all broken down for you here in a detailed manner. It gets better. We're not done yet, because if I wanted to see how many billboards are in my actual location, I could actually check by using our map here. So it gets better. So this is an area that you would come to, and essentially, basically you would come here and check where that billboard is. So there's one here that I'm seeing right here, right? And you could get up close so you have an idea. And then when you click it, it'll tell you outdoor billboard. And then in some instances, you might notice that some are not outdoor billboards. Like this is a retail grocery, but then this one here is apparently there's a doctor's office in here somewhere. So it's all just giving you intel on your campaign so you're making better decisions. This is our white label here. Thankfully, you're catching this on time. But one of the cool things about our white label is that we're going to be paying you. You're not only partnering with Vistar Media, but you're partnering with my company, Digital Billboard Apps, and Red Torrent Media, where we're going to be paying you on the 1st and 2nd of each individual month. Now, obviously, your clients would have to top up a minimum fee set by you, but you could also set a service fee. So your minimum fee could be $50 and your service fee could be another $50. You just made $50 and we pay through wire. So you have your card details here, your business information here. You could set a URL, you could set up your colors, login screens, and so much more. And for those of you who would prefer to have me, have Hassan, Wally, Vistar create your campaign, because you're dealing with a big time client and you feel like, hey, I need some help here. I want you guys to help me with this. We require a minimum top up. That's it, of $100. As long as you have $100 in your account, you could access this chat and be able to speak to us privately. So it's super cool. It'll allow us to form the campaign for you in your account. So keep that in mind. And of course, tickets, we provide tickets, so we're here for you. through this process. You're not alone. Wally, Asan, my entire team, we're here to support you through this process. We have over 10 plus videos for you to use as well, to assist you in this process. I know in the webinar I dropped a lot of content. It's a lot to take in, but in this training I break everything down in detail, so you know we're all on the same page at the end of the day. So let's keep going. I'm gonna just minimize my screen. I'm gonna bring my presentation back because we're not done yet. We have some other things to cover. So let's alrighty. So here we go. So let's recap all features. You got the dashboard, you have the profile, your top up, right? And let's see here. You have your insertion orders, you have your campaigns, you can set your creatives, you can see your progress, your media, you got that all there for you. And then you have you know, the ability to choose your channels, your like clear channel outdoor. You could do your fencing as well, your zip, talk about zip codes, neighborhoods. You got your detail reporting, your transparent real-time data map, so you can see your impressions coming in and where they're coming in from in real time. And you can see here that we also have another map that gives you an overall view as to where the traffic is coming from. This other map here shows you where the billboards are, so you're not lost in the process, right? You can form your campaigns, you have your training videos, and I have to remind you quickly, you know, of a couple of things. So digital billboard companies are charging, you know, $10,000 per campaign. We're not doing that here, you know. Well, you know, with so demand and little competition in the digital billboard space, you know, companies are really charging this much, you know, and as a marketer, small business owner, when starting up, I know for a fact that that's nowhere near realistic. So not only do you have full control here, but you can charge what you want. So thanks to our, you know, Vistar Media and the devs for allowing us this amazing, you know, allowing us access to this technology, and our developers for building it, you know, that's essentially what we're here. So let's get on to the nitty gritty. What is the cost? I know that's a big one for everybody here. What is the cost? So we knew that a lot of our Red Tour Media members would love to provide this type, you know, of service, you know, locally. So $299.87 is very reasonable, but that's not what you're going to pay here. I like to take care of my community, so that's not what you're going to pay today. With all the energy we put into it, you won't even pay anything near $199.87 a month or $997. So are you ready to start running digital billboard ads? If you are, let me see those yeses in the chat box. Let me see those yeses in the chat box. I should be seeing a bunch of yeses in the chat box. George, Jill, Dave, you guys are pumped up, and I'm excited for you for a good reason. So let's get back to the slide here. Your registration fee today is only $119. And you know what? There's no monthly fees. There's none. No monthly fees at all. We're teaming up together as a unit. We're doing this together. But wait a minute. Keep in mind that your one-time activation fee grants you lifetime access and superior support to our new specialist, Wally, right? So you now have full control. You can charge your own fees for digital billboards, you know, and really showcase, you know, like as a real professional, go out there with confidence so you're not lost, and run hyper local digital billboards campaigns. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. So isn't this a live webinar? Of course it is. And I'm going to save you guys in this process $25 today. You're getting access to all of these networks here. And as a matter of fact, before I get into the everything, I'm just going to drop the links here because you guys are going to take my head off any moment now. I see you guys are looking for the link, so I just dropped the link. Let me go back to the presentation. So I'm saving you 25 bucks. You get access to, you know, all of these features in regards to the networks, over 100 plus networks, over 500 plus presets. Come on, it doesn't get any better than that. So $92 is literally what you're paying with option number one. Lifetime fee, 0 monthly. All right, Doesn't get any better than that. Optional. This is optional, okay? We have some other contacts that we've made, and we intend in the next couple of days adding a few more networks into play. So currently there are 100 plus networks involved. We intend on adding more. Those of you that take action on option number 1 will get access to those 100 plus networks. Now, those of you who just said, you know what, I'm all in this thing. 117, no monthly fee, I'm all in. This is my platform. I could charge whatever I want, whenever I want, boom. You get access to those additional networks when we add them. So if your account is marked with the flag on our end, you get those updates. All right, expand your reach. Both links are now in the chat, all in the chat now. So let's do an overview. So you get the digital billboard app dashboard. Tracking your digital billboard doesn't need to be complex. So we've made the process super easy to understand. Within your dashboard, you'll get an overview on your campaign performance, including budget, start, end dates, profit, and progress. You could also fine tune your campaign and measure your budget, deliveries, and so much more. You got that real-time map that I mentioned as well, where you could see where the traffic is coming from. So you're not left guessing. Not only do you have the progress, but you could also see where in the map your billboards are showing. It could be popping up at an airport, or you're seeing that it's popping up on a main highway, right? So you could really measure things out, all right? Run hyper local digital billboard apps, scaling zip codes, DMAs, and geofence features. We have plans to improve this feature even more down the road. So this would be a perfect time for you to jump in on this now. And I'm not just saying that for my own benefit, because the reality is that after today, we can't continue to keep charging the same price for, you know, this was an expensive build for us. It cost us, and there's a lot of competition out there, and we don't have to give everyone access to our sources. We just don't. But we're doing this for our communities, the guys that have been coming out supporting us all the time. So you have your detailed reporting, so you have a bird's eye view on how your campaign is performing, your cost, which network is providing you the best results. And again, you have over 100 networks built in, over 500 presets. That all comes with option number 1. Again, option 2, 117, gets you additional networks. You have the digital billboard app chat, which includes so much, man. That chat alone is amazing. I know with our last release, geofencing app, which did amazing, and it did some amazing things for our clients and our users in our community as well. There was a lot of good chats happening in there, and the same thing is going to happen here. It's a great chance for you to connect with others and see what's working as far as like their campaigns, what's not, and so much more. So digital billboard app training, we provide you not only with 10 plus videos, but we have a live training coming as well. We intend, just so you have an overall view and understanding as to what our plans are with geofencing app, digital billboard apps, and all of our platforms, we're going to be meshing them together via mobile app pretty soon. So again, you're a part of something great here. That's all I'm saying. We're on to something great. You're a full-fledged agency at this point. So do you have a minimum per campaign? Okay, so these are some Q&As that I have set up. There's no minimum per campaign, so you can set it up for one to be 10 bucks, the other one to be 25, and spread out your budget across multiple campaigns. What countries do you support? The United States, and this is coming from Vista, our partners, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom, and other parts of the EU. Do you provide support? Yes, indeed, we provide support. And Wally, Hassan, and I, we're there all the time. Yes, even including me, I take part in these conversations. How do you spend your budget? You can spend your budget by impressions or actual dollars on what's available within the market. Okay, so once you set up your campaign and it is up there and running, you'll see it via your reports as to what your CPM costs are. And if the CPM that you set, the cost that you set, if it's sufficient enough or if it's getting you any type of traction. So what type of geographic targeting options do you have? You could do your zip, your POI, your neighborhood, your state, and so much more. No, you also have the option to target by weather, venues, and so much more. So can you target audience types? Absolutely. We have, third-party audiences. So you could target folks who are shopping for furniture, gas shoppers, vehicle shoppers. We have a bunch of presets, over 500 set. Can we choose what time and day to run a campaign? Absolutely. You can choose any time of the day to run your campaign. Any restrictions when it comes to creatives? There's no restrictions at all. We allow all types of sizes, even audio. Audio is a big one too, and video. Can we choose which network we want to run? Yes, there's no fees for that. You can choose any networks you want to run with. Okay, so it's time to do our live Q&A. Again, your one-time activation fee is $92, literally. That's it. Total investment, $75 minimum top-up. Your activation fee, $167. No upsells at all. None at all. We're not doing the funky chicken over here, okay? So $167, no upsells, no monthly fees. All right, registration links are all in the chat. Now, optional. This is no longer a pre-order, okay? But this is optional for everyone here. You could white label this entire platform and you'll get access to that feature where we're literally writing you a check. We're writing you a check for any top-ups sent within your white label. Those are your leads, your clients. If they top up, you get paid what you've charged, okay? So you set your fees plus your minimum top-up. All right. So your fee could be $250, and then you have a minimum top up of $50, which goes to the network. That doesn't even go to us. That goes to the networks. Your fee is paid out to you 100% on the first and second of each month. You become a partner with us. You partner with us and my entire team. $19.97 one time is your fee. That's it. But remember, you're going to make your return. We're giving you the opportunity to make something big out of this for yourself. You could set up that landing page. I mean, it's all done. It's set up, stats, payouts. You could do your branding. The URL is included. $199.97 gets you full access. Okay. Now, if you truly want to get in and you feel like, hey, I want to get in, but I need some help, we'll see what we can do. You can email devsupport@redtorrentmedia.app. No promises, but you can definitely reach out to us. The fee is only one time. Remember that. You can charge your own top-up fee. You get paid on the first and second of each month. And I'm not just saying that for my benefit. And I'll be completely transparent. What works for us is that at the end of the day, we're working together, building this platform, making it more bigger than it already is. Because essentially, the more feedback that we get, the more we get to essentially make the platform what you guys want. Well, it's going to transform into what you want, you know? So all the links are in the chat. Next week, the pricing is going up to $2,999.87, unfortunately, and we're firm on that. So you're saving $1,000 here today. Option number one saves you $25, general access. Option two, $117, additional networks added, $1,997, full white label rights. There you go. That's it. Dev support at redtorrentmedia.app. If you feel like you want to get in on the white label but need some help, we'll see what we can do on our side. No promises, but reach out to us. All right, so that is pretty much it. I know that you guys have a bunch of questions, so let's go ahead and get those questions answered now. All right, so Patricia is looking for the link. There is the link. I don't see any of the links in the chat. There is the link. There you go. Alrighty. So Ernest is asking here, is the option of $92 plus? No, it's just, you would just choose one of these two here. So $92, you get access to 100 networks that are built inside the platform. $117 will get you the additional networks that we intend on adding within the next couple of days, actually as soon as tomorrow. We have some plans for some more networks. And, you're just getting access to more essentially on that side of things. So you have, you know, other ways to target people using digital billboards. So Thomas is asking, where are the details in the app? Restart the art. Not sure what you mean, Thomas, but if you could retype that question, that'd be great. Chris, charge your own fees. Absolutely. So I'll show you here. I don't mind. I'm all about transparency. Let's go back into the white label. So here you go. You have your white label details here. So you can charge your own fee. So here you would set your minimum top up. Like you see here, it's 0. Ours is currently 75. So it would have to be added on top of that. You know, it would be added on top of, you know, what we're currently charging. So you would charge your own minimum top up. And everything else is handled automatically. The service fee goes to you. So keep that in mind. You know, the service fee goes to you. So if you want to keep the minimum top up the same, fine. But if you include more, you not only help Digital Billboard Apps, the platform, so we can develop more, but you know, if you go ahead and you put in like $10, right? Like it's going to be added to our 75, which will bring it up to 85, you know, and then your service fee would be like, you know, 250. So that gets paid to you. We wire a check to you on the 1st and 2nd of each month. There's no link. I see that some of you are on your phone. So if you're on your phone, email dev support at redtorrentmedia.app. Alrighty. So why is the price coming in at one? I don't know. That's an interesting question. Bear with me one little moment, and I'm gonna find out why. And I'm just gonna pause my screen really quick because I have links all over the place. Bear with me one moment. You might need to refresh your screen. Let me see. Yes, so that's correct, Solomon. It's 1997. Alrighty. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna get that link for you. Let's see here. Try if you can on your end, Patricia, if you could refresh that link, it should take you to the correct link. I'm just gonna open it on my side. I have a bunch of links here on my side with some, let's see. So I'm just gonna paste them one at a time for you guys in the chat. So bear with me. I have my screen paused. So here we go. So link 1. So link number 1. That's link number 1 there. So that should take you to option 1, right? And then option 2, I'm just gonna bring up here. It's our 117. Option number 2. 117, you get access to the additional networks. That's it in the chat. And then option number 3 is the white label. Okay, and that's the white label is here. Those are the links. Alrighty. So I'm gonna just close all these tabs that I have on and bring the screen back. There we go. So let's go back to the questions, the links. There you go. I see that a lot of you are in already, so congrats. So yes, David asked the question if I'm overseas. Yes. So do me a favor, if you're overseas, email devsupport@redtorrentmedia.app and we'll coordinate with you if you're overseas and you're trying to get in. Alrighty. There we go. I'm on my phone. There you go. So if you're on your phone, dev support media. Is this, I'm new? Absolutely. If you're new, absolutely. So Tim is asking if he can get in at 117 and upgrade later to the for the white label. The pricing is going to change on the white label. You know, you can still get in a little later if you feel like that's something that you want to do. Alrighty. So are you guys seeing the links on your side? If you are, let me know. All right, so Patricia's in, so congrats. Let me just go back. I see that some of you are able to see everything. All right, there we go. Can you go back to the platform and review it? Absolutely. So you all can see my screen again, all right? Just go ahead and put yes in the chat box. I'm just gonna revisit everything again. Yes, 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 yes. All right, perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna close down my presentation and go back to the dash and break everything down. I don't mind. So remember, you have your insertion orders, your tickets, your balance. Here, this is the chat. There's a lot of talks happening here that you can take part of. You have your top up. Remember, our top up is only $75. That's all. You can set your own on top of ours, and it helps us, the platform, so we can continue building it for our community. And at the same time, you're getting paid. At the same time, you're getting paid. Just for like, so you could hand off an account. If someone tops up, hey, they paid your fee of 500 bucks, you just made 500 bucks. Yes, there is tax papers that we will be sending your way. So the minute that you get signed up, um, yeah, someone asks, is this tax free? No, it's not tax free. Okay. Like you got to pay the taxes. You got to pay a CASAN. Okay. All right. So insertion orders. Let's see here. So remember, you will create your insertion order. This is the second phase. At the top, you have the map, so you can track, the real-time activities surrounding your billboards. And this is a map that we're going to continue to keep improving as well, getting you more clear, concise data, so you could get really, up close and personal. It doesn't just show you an overall view. You could even click it, and it'll show you where it's showing. So if it's showing at the airport, it'll show you where in the airport it's showing. So it shows you in detail, okay? And that just helps, throughout the process of, formulating your campaigns and putting out there. You could make more informed decisions this way. That's what I'm saying. You can check your active dates, inactive dates, your progress of your campaign. And then remember, you can dig more in detail into your campaign. You could check how you want to run that campaign. Okay, let's see here. So okay, that's a good idea. I don't want to talk too much about that, but hey, any ideas, guys? Like I love ideas. When it comes to this stuff, I'm all about ideas. Reach out to us and let me know what kind of ideas you have. We're always happy to apply them. So someone is asking, without the white label, how would I be able to charge for this? So, I mean, what you can do is form your own campaigns, right? And you could form it for them, and that's the best way to do it. You could send them screenshots, and that's just one way to do it. But at that point, you got to have like a relationship with that client, and you guys already know. A lot of you here experience, like, if you have a client that you've been with you for some time, and you just want to expose them to this route of marketing, hey, like, it'll be worth it. So remember, you could do your geofence, state, and so much more. There's a lot of different things you could do from a targeting perspective. You have venue types, transit, outdoor, billboards, entertainment. You have your current weather, all right? Audiences, you have your third-party audiences, over 500 plus, which is incredible. Time and days of the week. You have the networks for you to choose from, all from a drop down. Some big networks here too. So you definitely got to check out the training. I'll break this all down. And as far as creatives, you would just associate your creative, once you've uploaded it. And again, I break this all down in the training for everybody. You have your detailed reporting as well. So your reporting will show the status of your campaign, like how it's performing. Are you getting a bang for your buck within your impressions, fees, and CPMs, and all that important stuff? You could, break things down by group, by campaign, by US, state, zip code. So you can really dig deep into your campaign with confidence, and again, make better, more informed decisions in that regard. Okay. So billboards, again, this is an area that I broke down where you can check, you know, how many billboards are in your area. So I'm going to go 11225. That's a neighborhood out in New York City. So you can see here, there's a lot of activity because it's New York City, right? So there's obviously, this is a retail and grocery store, and they run some ads. So retail and convenience store. Let's see what we have here. Health and beauty gym. So around here somewhere, there's a gym somewhere. And all of this is verifiable. So like, this is not anything data that we're getting this data from our partners. So you could actually drive by and confirm that there's a gym by there, let's see. I'm overseas. I'm trying to pay, but I can't. So if you're overseas, do me a favor. I'm going to drop the email, devsupport@redtorrentmedia.app. redtorrentmedia.app, and we'll get you situated there. What if you didn't pay for the white label and showing up in the... Yeah, exactly. So you have to pay to use the white label first, okay? To access all the features, to get paid and things like that. Could you briefly describe the difference between... Absolutely. Geofencing app focuses more on ads, digital-based ads, and we are focused more on setting fences around different perimeters and running ads within those parameters. But this is just all about running billboard ads. So we're running within screens on highways, and guys are already doing that within our platform. Highways, restaurants, and doctors' offices. This is all about the external world, right? We're basically just extending what we have in the online world and bringing it to the offline world. Absolutely. So you'll pay what you set. So if you set your CPM to be like $1, you'll pay whatever you set. So if your budget is 25 bucks for one campaign, that's exactly what you'll pay. So someone is asking here, is this a lifetime fee for both options? Yes, absolutely. And the white label as well. So if any option that you go into, it's all a lifetime fee. So as long as you have access to the platform, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. Dennis Arama says, I see the potential. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So if you just signed up just now, whether you be in the white label, it does not matter. If you're within our platform already, go ahead and leave the best comment that you got in the chat. I just want to shout you out. Remember that option number 1 is 25 bucks. I'm sorry, $25 discount, not 25 bucks. What are we talking about? $92, $25 discount. 117 gets you additional networks. 199.97 gets you paid. All right, it gets you paid. So go ahead and leave a 1 in the chat box if you just went ahead and signed up, and just leave the best comments that you got, and I'm going to shout you out. I see that a lot of you are in right now, so congratulations. Let's see here. I'm going to be passing this on to my client. Excellent. That's awesome. Do it. Go for it. And we're here to back you up through that process, so you're not alone. Absolutely, and we're going to continue to keep enhancing our platform. We love our platforms. I'll show you the other one too, Geofencing app, which is a lovely platform of ours. We love our platforms here, and we've learned a lot from, our past. Some of you who have been with us for the long-term route, we've made mistakes in the past, and we've grown from those mistakes. And, we're human here. And let me tell you, man, these platforms here, at some point, we're going to be meshing them together and continue to enhance them. So, you can go into this with confidence with us, knowing that, you can use this in your business. This is not anything that, we're playing around with here. This is a real business, and we intend on, expanding it. So the pricing will be available for today, unfortunately, on the white label side of things. All right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and re-drop those links again. Bear with me one little moment. I'm just going to grab the links. I'm just pausing my screen really quick because I have a lot of browsers open here. So bear with me one moment. And let me get the links here. And I'll just drop them. Congrats to everyone on board. So again, if you're on board, leave those ones in the chat box, and I'll go ahead and I'll shout you out. And do me a favor, like once you sign up, go in the chat and introduce yourself to everybody. That's always helpful to everybody so they can get to know you. Some of our newest members just signed up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. My card was declined. It was likely, Tom, it's likely that you're overseas. But if you're not, do me a favor. I'm just gonna send you my email here, devsupport@redtorrentmedia.app, and we'll get you set up so you'll be fine on that side of things. Yes, you can do video ads, and this is factual coming from Vistar. You can do video, you can do, of course, you got your images and audio as well. Awesome, Ernest, congrats. Awesome, that's great. George says he's hyped, he's excited. That's amazing. And you should be excited. I don't see why you wouldn't want to be excited for this. This is great. I mean, it's all set up for success. We really want our guys to succeed, and we want to do this the right way. And this is it. So remember, you have those detailed breakdowns. You got that in-depth view for your campaign, which is massive, massive. You could see in real time. So when you set up your campaign, you could just come to your map and keep it here till it starts lighting up. You're gonna see that it lights up in yellow. It's gonna light up in yellow, and you're gonna see where your ads are showing, all in real time. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And it's all broken down transparently, Definitely. So you can find the training here. The training is going to be in videos, tutorials. So when you go to videos, tutorials, you're going to see it all broken down. Bernard, where's the link? There you go. Just dropped the link. Just got in. Derek, congratulations. Congrats, congrats, congrats. How do I get without the light? Well, that's a good question. So someone just asked if they can get paid without, you can't get paid without the white label. You need to be a white label member in order to get paid with us. This is basically you saying, hey, I'm committed to this. I'm going to go all in with this. And that's it. And again, I'm all about transparency. Like I mentioned before, you get paid on the 1st and 2nd of each month, just like I broke down here. Charge your own fee, position yourself like a true digital billboard pro, right? Stats, payouts, requests for branding, it's all there for you. You get paid on the 1st and 2nd of each month. You can set your own top ups if you want, or just leave it the same. Reggie Lewis is in. Congrats, congratulations. How many of you I don't know, how many of you are going to join in on the white label? Go ahead and put 5s in the chat box and I'll shout you out. As a matter of fact, when you sign up for the white label, go ahead and just say, I'm all in on the white label. I'm going to drop my email me. We're going to be forming a little group for our guys, for those of you who are running in on the white label. I see that some of you are in already. There's about 6 people that are in right now on the white label. And that's great. That's awesome. Congrats. Definitely looking forward to, working with you guys. It's going to be fun, so I'm excited. Jennifer, congrats. David, absolutely. Someone mentioned that they're ready to kick. Beep. Not going to mention the bad word. Going to keep it clean. Yep. Awesome. 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 Jeremy Hines is in. Congratulations. Looking forward to working with you. So for the geofencing app, what I would do is go to my channel, and I should have a link there for that one, but yeah, that's for that. So if for those of you who really want to get into, the white label, and you want to give it a shot, shoot me an email today, the latest, if you really want to get in, and I'll see what I can do. I'm going to talk to Wally in the next 15 minutes and Hassan and see what they have to say about this, and create some opportunity for everybody. That's all this is. So if you're having problems overseas, email me again. I apologize if you're having issues getting in overseas. Dev support at redtormedia.app. Alrighty. Let's see here. Absolutely, absolutely. So that's great. So I see that a lot of you are in. Is there any other questions that I missed out on? Absolutely, CJ. CJ, if you could do me a favor, CJ's looking to get in with with the help pay option. Do me a favor, CJ, email me immediately so we could get you enrolled and signed up. Absolutely. Again, when you look at the margins, you're gonna make your return back. Alrighty. Show me the money, says Dennis O'Reilly. That is hilarious. So the email that CJ, it's going to be devsupport@redtorrentmedia.app, and Hassan will get with you, or Wally. Yep. Absolutely. Is this live, Lynn? Nicely. Yes, this is live. It's March 14th. It's 3:52 Eastern time. I heard that the time went ahead today on the Eastern time. So yeah, absolutely. This is live. Something that a lot of folks like to do nowadays, which I find quite cheap. They like to do recordings on webinars, and I don't like that kind of stuff. I go live. I go live all the time. I read my presentations. I love what I do, so it's not a problem for me. Yep. I appreciate you too, Dennis. I'm looking forward to working with you guys and, making this happen for everybody. So, but we got about a couple of minutes left. Again, if there's any other questions that you feel I might have missed, don't want you to miss out on this awesome platform. Remember, we have training. We have a detailed PDF that you get in here as well. You have that ability to charge your own. For those of you who want to do the white label, email me, devsupport@redtormedia.app. Remember that you can really dig into your campaign. Let's see. No, you don't need to purchase this program and then purchase the white label. If you're going to go in the white label, then just go ahead and purchase the white label. If you already did, then we'll reimburse you that amount. Yes, yes, Barnett, that is right. Do your clients get their own login? As a matter of fact, I'll show you here. And we're going to keep enhancing this. The more feedback that we get, you see this here? At the end of this process, we generate you a URL that you can use. We're going to give you a private URL, a separate URL that you can use, not ours. It's going to have your branding. Like, it's going to have your branding. You can set your fees, your colors, your logo, your favy icon. You got it all there. So absolutely. So remember, you have your minimum top up that you can set if you want. And then you have your service fee. The service fee is what's being paid to you. Now you can make this a recursive fee. So if you're like, all right, I'm going to sell this, but I'm going to sell it on a monthly basis, you would check this off here. All right. And again, we're open to feedback. We want to continue to improve this, but you have to be a member. If you're not a member of our white labels, then, you know, you're going to be a member. I mean, a general member. That's all it is. It doesn't make you different from anybody else. It just means you're not a white labeler. So as far as like us paying you and things like that, you know, we have to set that up, you know, and we're all about compliance here. So there's so many gas stations in Denver. Absolutely. So think about it. There's endless opportunities here. If you're creative and you plan it out, it'll work out. Alrighty. So we got about 5 more minutes to go and we're gonna wrap this up. Any more questions, I'm happy to answer. Let's go back into insertions really quick and go into this campaign here that I have set up. Give me one little second. Absolutely. We welcome all levels. I had a couple of questions, a couple of new guys here. Absolutely. You don't need a degree to do this. I mean, you really don't. Go to my YouTube channel. You'll learn more about me. I have no special degree, you know. I just been in the business space for a long time, you know, but we welcome all levels. Yes, I know. Ron Nicely says there's a lot of power in the map. Exactly. That's what I mentioned. Let's see. With the white label, Chris is asking, how would I share results with clients in a white label? That they're gonna sign up underneath you. And when they formulate campaigns, you could help them make those campaigns, like within your dash. Like you could formulate the campaigns for them, or just have them log in and make the campaigns themselves. Have them top up. They would simply fund their accounts, and that is pretty much it. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. Absolutely. So if you're looking for the white label link, it's the last link. I'm just gonna copy this one here, and this is the link here. There you go. That is the white label link. So this is for those of you who are looking to get into the white label. So the email is devsupport@redtorrentmedia.app. All right, we got about 2 minutes here. If there's any little, I don't believe in silly questions. Let me tell you, my wife looks at me like I'm crazy sometimes, but you know, what are you gonna do, right? Like, it's ask crazy questions. I don't believe in silly questions. So go ahead and leave those questions in the chat. You know, leave those questions in the chat. Leave those questions in the chat. It does not matter. There's no such thing as a silly question. I just started today. I'm excited. Congrats. That's great. That's amazing. And if you're overseas, we'll welcome you as well. We welcome you as well. Do you allow audio? Yes, we do allow audio and video, including images of any sort. So if you have, like I mentioned in the presentation, any media currently, then you're good to go. All right, so we're about to wrap this up. I'm gonna let you guys go. Can you do me a favor? If you're in, go ahead and put it in the chat box. Give me the best like comments that you got. I want to brag about you guys. I love to brag about, you know, my community and talk about you guys. So do me a favor and leave those in the chat, and that'll be amazing. Next level. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this because this is what happens when you miss out. You miss out on all this creativity, this amazing content. How many of you feel like you left with something today? Like you left with something, you left feeling informed, you left feeling like, man, like next week I'm gonna crush it. Let me know because like I really gave you guys my all in this presentation, and I want to make sure. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm just taking screenshots of this. Tom, Reggie, Ernest, Mark, Jill, CJ. CJ, I see you sent an email. Looking forward for those emails. And again, If you want to get into the white label, definitely email me. I'm happy to speak to you and see what we can do, but I need to know what the situation is. All right. So email me. All right. devsupport@redtornmedia.app, and we'll get the ball rolling. Thank you so much for the amazing feedback. Thank you so much for making the time. I'm looking forward towards serving you inside our platform. I can see that a lot of you are in. I'll be online for the next several hours as always. My name is Guillermo Mata. Thank you so much. This is Digital Billboard App, and we look forward towards seeing you inside. We'll see you in a bit.